Hi everyone, this is Lisa Truesdell, a garden girl at 2peasinabucket.com, and I'm here to bring you my first Memory Making Monday video. I recently pinned this gorgeous mixed media piece by Christina Wilson to one of the 2Ps Pinterest boards, and I used it as an inspiration piece for this page. I pulled together a mix of patterned papers in soft tones from Crate Paper, KI Memories, October Afternoon, and Amy Tangerine, as well as a few embellishments from Pebbles, Crate, and Studio Calico. I like to grab a bunch of items that I think I'll use before I start a page. It saves me time while I'm working on the layout. What really drew me to my inspiration piece was the use of layers, and I wanted to incorporate that into my scrapbook page. I started by placing my journaling block, photo, and title, and from there I cut strips from my patterned paper and then trimmed them into irregular shapes. I'm arranging them on my page without really worrying about what goes where, since we'll add some layers on top of this that will really change how the background looks. My main goal at this point is just to fill in the middle of my page with a variety of colors and patterns. Next, I'm going to mist my background with Mr. Huey's Calico White Mist. It's an opaque mist, so it will take all of the colors down a little and unify my background. The first thing I'm going to do is pull off the things that I don't want misted. I want the ruler paper to keep its color, and I obviously don't want to mist my photo. I'm also going to pull off the journaling block and the die cut heart. From there, you'll need to shake up your mist, then hold it about 6 to 8 inches from your layout and spray. I do all of my misting in an old shipping box. It keeps the mist contained and off the rest of my desk. Since this particular mist is paint-based, you'll need to give it a few minutes to dry once you've got all the color on the page. Now that my mist has had a chance to dry, I'm ready to add another layer, and I'm going to use washi tape. One of my favorite things about washi is that it's semi-transparent, so you get a little peek of the pattern below it. That makes it really great for building up layers like I'm doing on this background. Once again, I don't really have a pattern or a plan as to how I'm adding it. I'm just eyeballing it and trying to fill in the spaces between the pattern paper. Overlapping it across other elements will help to make all of our random little scraps of paper cohesive. So I'm trying to go both over and under the paper already in place on the background. I'm also trying to be sure to get a mix of shorter and longer pieces and to mix up the different colors and patterns around the page. Once I finished adding washi tape to my background, I went ahead and put my title letters back onto the page. I decided to mist the Amy Tangerine Goodness Thickers with a little green mist. I wanted to pick up the green in the mittens, and I really like the way it makes the white printed pattern on the letters pop. After that, I went ahead and added some machine stitching, mostly on the washi tape, to bring another layer of texture to the page. If you remember back to the inspiration piece, it had some small areas of brighter color among the muted tones. I wanted to bring that look to this page, so I'm adding some small pieces of pattern paper over the misted background. It's a little detail, but I really like the way it helps bring some contrast to my layout. I've added journaling to my page, and now I'm ready to finish it off with a few embellishments. I'm starting with a regular paper doily, layered with an Amy Tangerine die-cut circle. I'll just tuck it under my photo to add some texture to this side of the page. I'm also adding back this little ruler paper 4 right above the photo. From there, I want to add a trio of red embellishments. I like to bring in a bit of color that's not anywhere else on the page to add a little contrast. I'm using a border sticker by Crate up along the top, a brad from KI Memories layered alongside the die-cut heart, and this little clip from Pebbles goes right on the side of my photo. Next, I want to use these veneer shapes from Studio Calico. These are one of my go-to embellishments. I love that they're neutral and aren't too bulky, but they have a different texture from anything else on my page. I'm also going to add a button tied with twine on the die-cut heart and add this ticket right under the edge of my photo. Here's a better look at the effect of the layered washi and pattern paper. I love how it looks where they overlap. I also wanted to show you a close-up of the misted thickers. The white crisscross design is hard to see on the natural chipboard, but it will resist any mist that you add over the top of it. And here's the finished layout. I have a tendency to add a couple more little details to a page once it's done, and I did that here. I added a stamped date down at the bottom, as well as a couple of zigzag punched pattern paper strips. While my page doesn't look exactly like my inspiration piece, I think you can see how it guided me along the way. I'd love to see what you do from this inspiration piece, and I hope you'll share it in the gallery. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you'll come back next week for another Memory Making Monday with 2peasinAbucket.com.